What happens after we die? Is death truly the end, or is it just a transition? This question has fascinated philosophers, scientists, and spiritual leaders for thousands of years. Today, we will explore death through multiple perspectives: Buddha's teachings, modern philosophy, and modern science. By the end of this video, you might see death in a completely new way. Death has always been a mystery. Some believe in an afterlife, some in reincarnation, and others in complete annihilation. But can we find the truth? Let's analyze death from every possible angle: religion, philosophy, and scientific investigation. In this detailed discussion, we will not only explore what death means, but also what it signifies for our existence and consciousness. Buddha's perspective. Gautama Buddha's teachings offer a unique view on death. Unlike many religious traditions that promise heaven, hell, or an eternal soul, Buddhism approaches death with a deep sense of realism and detachment. The concept of anatta, that means no self, Buddha never taught about an eternal self or soul. Instead, he introduced anatta, which means non-self. The idea that the self we identify with is just an illusion, created by 5 aggregates. Number 1, form or rupa, the physical body. 2, sensations or vedana, feelings of pleasure or pain. 3, perception or sana, recognition and labeling of things. 4, mental formations, sankhara, thoughts, biases, and intentions. 5, consciousness or vijnana, awareness and experiences. These 5 elements are constantly changing, meaning there is no fixed I that continues after death. Death in Buddhist thought is simply the dissolution of these elements. Rebirth and karma. Buddhism does not believe in the traditional concept of reincarnation, where a soul transfers from one body to another. Instead, it speaks of rebirth, where our actions or karma create the conditions for a new existence. Your consciousness does not move on, but your actions shape the future of another existence. But is rebirth real, or is it just a way to explain human ethics and morality? Let's compare it with modern philosophical ideas. Modern philosophy on death. Philosophers have been obsessed with death for centuries. From Socrates to modern existentialists, death has been a defining problem of human life. Socrates, the philosopher's death. Socrates, sentenced to death in 399 BCE, famously claimed that a true philosopher should not fear death. He offered 2 possibilities. 1, death is a dreamless sleep, peaceful and without suffering. 2, death is a journey to another world where one continues to learn and grow. For Socrates, both options were acceptable, as philosophy is about preparing for death. Epicurus. Death is nothing to fear. Epicurus, an ancient Greek thinker, took a different approach. He argued, death is non-existence. Since we do not suffer before birth, why should we fear what happens after life? Fear of death is irrational and prevents us from enjoying life. Nietzsche and existentialism. Create your own meaning. Friedrich Nietzsche and later existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre argued that death is final. There is no afterlife, no God, and no higher purpose. But rather than despair, Nietzsche suggested that we must create our own meaning in life and live as if every moment matters. So is death really just the end? Science has its own say. The scientific view on death. Science sees death as a biological process. The heart stops, the brain shuts down, and consciousness fades. But modern discoveries challenge our understanding of this process. Near-death experiences, NDEs. Many people who have been declared clinically dead and revived later report mysterious experiences. Seeing a bright light, feeling detached from their bodies, meeting deceased loved ones, a feeling of unconditional love and peace. Are these experiences proof of an afterlife, or just the brain reacting to trauma? Quantum physics and consciousness. Some physicists suggest that consciousness might not be purely a product of the brain. The quantum mind hypothesis explores whether our awareness is part of a larger, interconnected reality. One theory suggests that consciousness exists outside the body and returns to the universe upon death, similar to how energy cannot be created or destroyed. Does this mean we continue in some form after death? Science is still searching for answers. A unique philosophical perspective. Now that we have explored multiple viewpoints, let's take a step back and ask, what does death mean for us? If Buddha was right, then death is a transition, but the self never truly existed. If Socrates was right, then death is either an eternal sleep or a new adventure. If Nietzsche was right, then death is final, and we must create our own meaning. If science is right, then we are energy, and perhaps consciousness continues in ways we do not yet understand. So should we fear death, or should we use this knowledge to live more wisely, living with the knowledge of death? Is death the end? The truth is, we don't know for sure, but what we do know is this: we are alive right now. Instead of fearing death, we must live with purpose, help others and leave a positive impact in the world. Seek truth and wisdom. Make the most of every single moment. As Buddha said, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. So what do you think? Is death the absolute end, or is there something beyond it? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video insightful, subscribe for more deep explorations of science and philosophy. See you in the next one. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself.